The moral of the story of the Knicks will continue. A game against the Charlotte Hornets that just ended. They were in complete control of this game, and they let a three-point shot with about a couple seconds remaining drain, which was some miraculous shot. It was by Devontae Graham on the Charlotte Hornets, and the Knicks' disappointment continues, one up, and they'll probably 10 downs from this. But anyway, this is about the 11th week of the NFL. And I know a couple weeks ago it was a boring week on paper, but my God, this week is absolutely boring. But I feel like there's going to be games in here that are really good. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those weeks where the games are so not exciting that there are about 5 or 6 games that are really good. And the first game I'm going to preview and make my prediction about is not going to be a game that anyone cares about, and it is the Jets going to Washington to take on the Redskins. This is the 1 o'clock frame on Sunday. Um, I'd love to sit here and tell you I care about either of these teams, but for some reason I think the Jets are going to win again, and the Jets are going to beat the Redskins. But the only thing is that um, if by some reason the Jets play a great game here, similar to the game they played in Dallas, I do not want people to start celebrating a playoff win, because you will not make the playoffs, and you know damn well you will not make the playoffs. Um, but the Jets will win this game. I could see them winning big. I could also see the Redskins winning, but I'm going with the Jets if I have to pick. The next game is New Orleans and Tampa Bay. I would expect the Saints to bounce back from their loss last week to the Falcons. But if they don't, now that is where the problem comes into play. If the Saints play like they did last week and they lose to Tampa Bay by a lot, like if they lose by a field goal or it's a close game, that's whatever, because Tampa Bay is an unpredictable team. But if they lose to the Saints, or the Saints lose bad, there are going to be some questions, not for Drew Brees, but just the team as a whole, because they were undefeated and they were flying through when Bridgewater was their quarterback. The Vikings and the Broncos in Minnesota. There's no reason to believe the Vikings will not win this game. They've shown you everything under the table this NFL season. So I'm going to assume they win this game. The Broncos defense has been underwhelming, and the team has been underwhelming as a whole. They will probably not be able to score many points against the Vikings, and I could easily see this being a 38-7 game. I would think the Vikings would probably blow them out. The Bills and Dolphins, the pattern is going to continue here of games that nobody is interested in. There's no reason in the world to believe that the Dolphins will win this game, because they will not. I know they're coming off of 2 straight wins, but they're coming off of 2 straight wins against a injury-riddled quarterback team against the Colts and the Jets. And wins against the Jets mean absolutely nothing in the NFL. The Bills' defense should lock this game down, and the Bills should certainly win this game against the Dolphins. An AFC South matchup, the Jaguars and the Colts, and this has the makings of an interesting game based on the fact that, from what I know, Brissett is playing, and Nick Foles is coming back, and he's going to start this game. Now, if Brissett was not playing, I would say that Foles would dominate, and the Jaguars would dominate this game. But Brissett is playing, so it's really a mixed bag, because I don't know what you're going to get from Nick Foles. I want to say the Colts, to be safe. It is in Indianapolis, and again, you don't know what you'll get from Nick Foles. But I have a feeling I don't know why, for some reason this game is so hard to predict. For some reason I have a feeling that the Jaguars are going to win this game. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win this game when it's said and done. That might be an unpopular pick with some people. But again, Brissett's coming back. He's coming right off that injury. Same thing with Foles, but the Jaguars, the Colts, yeah, I have to go with the Jaguars. Dallas and at Detroit, the Cowboys taking the Lions. I think the Cowboys are due for a blowout win in their fashions here. So I think in this, I'm going to go with the Cowboys to win big over the Lions. The Lions can make it close, but I have no reason to believe they will do so. The Cowboys are going to win this game. The Falcons at the Panthers. Falcons got a win against the Saints last week. It was an off day for the Saints, and there's no reason to believe the Falcons will win this game. They might make it close. I doubt it. No one's going to be able to stop McCaffrey. The Panthers are just a much better team than the Falcons, so the Panthers will win this game. Score, couldn't really tell you that, but the Panthers are going to win this game. The best game of the week, on paper, is the final 1 o'clock game, and there's no 1 o'clock game that is final. It's just the final one that's listed in order here, and it is the Ravens hosting the Texans, which will be a QB shootout, and I think that this has the makings to be one of the best games, if not the best game of the week. I'm going to go with the Ravens when it's said and done. I think it's going to be a very close, nitty and gritty game. The Texans could have just won out if they want to make a statement, but I'm definitely thinking that the Ravens just have the advantage in this game, so I'm going to go with the Ravens to beat the Texans in this game. Now you're going to start knocking into that 4 o'clock frame. And some of the 4 o'clock games, there's 3 of them. One is questionable, and the rest should be self-answered. 4:05 is the 49ers hosting the Cardinals. They're coming off that loss Monday Night Football to the Seattle Seahawks. I think the 49ers are going to be upset about that loss, and I think that they're going to take the win because of that. The Cardinals, again, they played them a couple weeks ago, and it was a very good game. They, again, could make it a close game, but there's no reason to believe the Cardinals have any chance to win this game. The 49ers defense is going to lock this one down, and the 49ers are going to bounce back into that win column. 4:25, there are 2 4:25 games, and the first one is a game that for some reason I think is going to be interesting, and that is the Eagles hosting the Patriots. Patriots coming off a bye week. I think the Eagles might be as well. This is hard because my heart wants to say the Patriots are going to tramp all over them, and they might, but for some reason I think the Eagles could make this interesting, but I don't think the Eagles will win this game. And the problem is that if the Eagles do win this game, their fans are going to come back up from under the grave, and they're going to come back up and start saying, can we win the Super Bowl this year? You won't win the Super Bowl, and sadly, I don't even think pending that they win the division, I don't even think the Eagles will win a single playoff game in that NFC conference. I'm just being honest with you. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win this game, but watch out to see what the Eagles could potentially do. The Raiders hosting the Bengals. If you could put a game on paper that I could care any less about, I would encourage you to do so. No reason in the world to believe the Bengals are going to get their first win against the Raiders, especially a team like the Raiders who has been so flying under the radar this year, and they're a good team, and people do not give them the credit that they deserve. But the Raiders are definitely going to win this game. No way in hell the Bengals stand any chance, regardless of whatever quarterback they come at. The Sunday night game is... Now, this game is interesting because it's the Rams hosting the Bears, and the way the Rams have looked, you wouldn't think they'd win this game, but the Bears' defense, which has been carrying them throughout this season, you would assume that the Bears would win this game. But if the Rams wanted to make a statement, the best thing that they could do would be to blow a team out, because they haven't really had too many games this year where they've just annihilated teams. And they want to get that offense going, and just, guys like Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, all those guys, they want to do that. So I think that the Rams really need to make a statement in this game, but I'm just afraid the way that they've looked, that the Bears are going to win this game. I feel like the Rams are due, but at the same time, I'm going to go with the Bears to beat the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Final game of the week. If you asked me about this game a couple weeks ago, I'd say it'd be a blowout. But it is the LA Chargers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And I still am going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think the Chargers have been playing much better football. So you have to factor that into the chance that they have in this game. The Chiefs are going to win this game. Mahomes is going to keep dominating. They're going to do what he does. And the Chargers could make it close, but I think the Chiefs will probably blow them out when it's all said and done. And Thursday night's game as well, Mason Rudolph threw 4 picks. And it had that major brawl, which I addressed in my video at the end. Again, there's a couple games on here that could be upsets, but for the most part, it's a less exciting game, a less exciting week. I feel like the party doesn't really get started until 4 p.m. because those are when you get those really good games. Ravens and Texans is the game to watch at 1 o'clock. If you have access to all the games and you're one of those people that is learning through this channel, that would be the game to watch. The 4 o'clock game to watch would probably be New England and Philly, just because you don't know what you're going to get. But Arizona and San Francisco has the makings of a good game as well. And the 2 primetime night games as well. So thank you everybody for watching. It has been a blast.